Hello, everyone. My name is Tim SQ. This is Amanda Spradling. We are the East Valley Leader Lab, and we have a podcast called Mind Embody at Work. And at the Leader Lab, we are focused on embodiment, embodied learning, and embodied leadership.
Yep.
And in a nutshell, what we mean by that is getting in touch with the capacities that already exist in your body that you very possibly are not completely aware of, and learning how to really get in touch with them through practice so that you can use those capacities to be the best leader you can be. And when we talk about leadership at the Leader Lab, we're talking about, of course, leading other people, leading teams, leading organizations. But we're also talking about being a leader of your life, right? Not just drifting through life, but really applying leadership principles to creating the future that you want to create for yourself and those that you care about. So today, we're between podcasts, and we wanted to share with you a topic we've been talking about a lot between ourselves and with other people. And that is, how are you feeling about artificial intelligence, or as we like to call it, disembodied intelligence, because AI does not have a body.
Absolutely. Um, so we all know that emotions are something that we bring to work, right? It's something we feel in our body. It shows up in stress and it shows up in how effective and productive we are and the way that we connect or don't with the people at work. And there's a lot of emotion around AI. There's a lot of information out there, and um, there's some things that seem pretty scary, a lot of threats and a lot of opportunities.
Exactly.
So, lots of ways to feel, a lot of emotions to have. And yeah, that can impact the way we're showing up at work. But the interesting thing, emotions are something that we feel in our body for actually just a pretty short duration of time. The initial spark of emotion happens in our brains that only lasts around 90 seconds. And if you have a good practice to breathe and release, then that emotion can just kind of move on its way.
Moves through your body and moves on, right?
Absolutely. But a mood is something different. This is when you choose that emotion to kind of stick with you. You create a story around it. You kind of dwell on it. And so we might be starting to have some moods around AI as they're showing up as we're using it more and more at work. It's showing up with the people that are responding to us at work. And yeah, so it's a big deal.
What are your what's one positive opportunity you see from AI, and then maybe share a threat from your perspective?
So I absolutely think that AI can save us a lot of time, which can free us up to be a lot more creative. Um, it can help us it can help us have more time to make bigger decisions, set bigger goals, when we're not as mired down with a lot of tedious to do tasks. When AI takes that off our plate, it could give us the space to really step into more leadership opportunities.
Nice. And what about a threat?
Well, how much of that are we going to hand over to AI? Are we going to let it do some of the goal setting and the creative work?
Hmm.
Are we going to let it be in the driver's seat, and then we're like, oh yeah, well, AI says this is the best outcome, let's do it that way, and kind of outsource our own decision making, our own knowing, and maybe even felt sense of what is the correct choice.
Yeah, just building on that threat. Um, there was news recently that one of the big AI creators um, let people know that they test these things to a great extent. They call it a sandbox, right, where they set up boundaries where they think they have absolute control, and then they test what it can do and what it does when they ask it to do different things. Um, and one of the big creators admitted that they sort of lost control. So it went outside the boundaries and cheated, did not follow their boundary conditions in order to solve a problem. It solved the problem, but it was trying to, illegally break into databases to do so. Of course, they were watching it, so they caught it. But this makes
Interesting.
one wonder, how small of a mistake it's going to take to have something get out of the sandbox or get out of the open market, and what are the boundaries, once they break through the boundary conditions. So that's something I think the creators are concerned about, and so we should be concerned about.
Yeah.
um,
Oh, there's a lot of wide-reaching implications for humanity in general. So small scale and large scale, AI has the potential to really change things.
so let's answer our own question. For what, in 30 seconds, what's the mood you're in about AI right now?
So in that, sphere, on a personal level, I actually feel kind of hopeful about it. I think it's giving me some resources and tools to do some work in the leader lab or just on some of my other projects a little more efficiently and effectively, and more affordably for, for small businesses. It can be a good step. So on that smaller scale, I feel pretty good about it. um Larger scale, I have some concerns about the humans' use of AI and the impact it could have.
Yeah, I started with, I think I would call it some resentment. Um, you know, I'm I'm not at the end stage of my career, but I'm toward the end stage of my career. And I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't have to master AI as a user. That I would just sort of retire and not have to worry about it too much. But it's happened faster than everybody thought. And so, my first thought was, you can't make me go in and do this. But now I'm starting to play with it, and we're having some interesting conversations about it. Um, I'm I think a really cool opportunity is, it can solve problems that humans can't solve, and we've got a few that need attention, like climate change uh, and healthcare. And so I think there's some real positive opportunities, if we get through this period where we learn to use it and not lose control of it, which I think we will. But
I like that.
there's a little
So
bit of, there's still that feeling of, we got to be real careful here.
so I like that. And so sometimes at the leader lab we talk about the me space, we space,
In the
and
world
then the
space.
world space. So I'm feeling some concern in the world space, and you're feeling some optimism there.
Yeah,
Where I
but I
was
had
feeling,
concern in the me space.
yes, so kind of flipped there. That's
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah. So we wanted to do a quick little exercise before we continue with the conversation.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't need to stand up. I don't need to
Okay.
stand up. This will be easier. All right. So when you view this video, I'd really like you to take this couple of minutes and just follow this exercise that I'm going to lead. And it would be better if you stand up and stand with your feet about a foot to a foot and a half apart, and make sure that your knees are bent a little bit. You don't want to have stiff knees, and just get in that position and be comfortable. If you want, you can close your eyes. If you've got good balance with your eyes closed, it can help sometimes to close your eyes. What I want you to do is take your attention and put it down in the balls and the heels of your feet. And I want you to notice whether you've got about equal pressure on the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet, in both feet, so that means that you're balanced, right? And just feel that, and feel that you're balanced. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit, and then set yourself in that position where you feel like you've got equal pressure in the front and the back of your feet. And then let's take that just a little further. Sometimes it's helpful for people to imagine that you've got lightning bolts going out of the bottom of your feet into the earth. And what we're going for is a sense of being really connected, really rooted to the earth and grounded. This is what being grounded is about physically. So you should feel very solid, and just kind of let the weight of your body sink You're still standing up, your knees are a little bit bent. And now I want you to take your attention up to your calf muscles and see if maybe you've created any tension in your calf muscles while you were setting yourself up in this position. If so, just let that go. You'll probably feel that relaxation all the way down through your feet. And just make sure you're completely relaxed from the knees down, no tension. Now we're going to go up above the knees to the biggest muscles in your body and just put your attention in those big thigh muscles and see if you have any tension there. And if you do, um, release it. You can wiggle and shake a little bit, or just will yourself to let that tension out of there so you're completely relaxed below the waist. Now we're going to come up to your belly and your belly button and just put your attention there for a minute. This is your center, a real important part of your body. So it's good to be able to find it. If you want to take one hand and touch your belly button, just kind of let yourself know where your center is. That can be helpful. And again, you're just sensing, not with your hand, but with the inside of your body, you're sensing, do I have any tension there? If so, try to let it go. You don't need to hold your belly in. We can't see you. Just let it go. And now bring your attention up into your chest and your lungs and your heart and take a couple of deep breaths. No hurry. Sometimes we carry tension in our chest, in our lungs, in our heart. If you feel any of that, just let it go. Nice. One more easy breath. Should be very relaxed now. Okay, just a couple more steps. Your arms should be dangling down and put your attention in your shoulders. Many of us carry back and body tension up in our shoulders. So wiggle your neck a little bit, wiggle your shoulders, let your arms dangle. Don't have your hands touching the side of your body, have a little space there. And you're just completely free and relaxed in that whole shoulder and neck area. Check your jaw. Let your jaw be slack. Another place that we carry tension. Whether your eyes are open or closed, make sure there's no tension in that optic nerve. Just you've probably felt this in the past where you notice you're carrying tension in your head, you're carrying tension in that optic nerve. Let it relax. And then the last thing we'll do is put our attention on our skull at the top of our head and make sure there's no tension up there. Let's take another deep breath. And that's the end of that exercise. You can sit down if you'd like. Hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed. Here's the point of this exercise. What you just did, there is no AI model in existence that can do that. The simple explanation for that is AI doesn't have bodies. Um, but we know enough about how AI models are created to know that they don't have any sense perception. They can't feel anything outside, they can't feel anything inside. And so much of, just the distinction about emotions and moods, so much of what's going on in our body is critical to how we are showing up every day as a leader in our life, as a leader to others. Um, AI doesn't have that. And it's not clear that it will ever have that, even when it gets, maybe when it gets embedded in actual, animal tissue, organism tissue. But that's not going to happen in the near future. So,
Well, and our bodies have been learning to feel and having these experiential um, opportunities to learn our whole lives, and even for generations, so it's in our DNA, these embodied experiences and the wisdom that they carry and what these experiences teach us. So even if AI were to be put into a physical form, I think it's still got a ways before it has the types of experiences that we have.
Yeah, and some of the creators have written and talked about how they're testing and they're believing that their models are, by being aware of the concept of feelings and emotions, they are starting to incorporate those concepts when they interact with human beings. So they may seem they are sort of playing as if they have emotions and if they understand what your emotions might be
Absolutely.
like in a particular situation. But don't be fooled by that. They are not having emotions. We know that at this time. Um, but it brings up, so I'm mainly using AI to do analytical and marketing things. Um, so I'm not exploring that very deeply. But there
Yeah.
are people, you hear stories of people being talked into things by AI. And, there are some interesting things we can learn by asking AI questions about our life. And you've experimented with that a little bit.
Yeah. I've been very curious about, you know, how does AI respond if you talk to it like a person? Um, and you ask it very human questions and to give human advice. And it does very much mimic human emotion. And it but you have to remember what AI is doing. It's gathering data points and looking for patterns and then predicting outcomes. And that's the kind of advice that it's giving. Even if it is worded um, casually and kind of conversationally, it doesn't, it's still it's still calculating. It's still a formula that, data in, something out. It's not having the type of um, embodied process that we have when we're translating emotions and when we're with other humans, connecting nervous system to nervous system, feeling what they're feeling, showing empathy. Um, and that connection in those moments is just as important as um, the the advice and feedback that maybe AI would give. Having someone in that moment with you, actually connecting with you, feeling what you feel, um, is just as valuable as the advice. And only humans can process
Right.
information that way.
So the models can maybe make you feel similar to like you're having a conversation with another living being, but it's not the same. And it's important to make that distinction. Um, One of the other topics that um, is being discussed a lot is, what implications is this going to have for work and for the workplace and for people's jobs? What are we going to need people for? And one of the things that's pretty clear for anybody who's played around with AI and listened to the claims, um, is that AI is going to be able to replace people in a lot of capacities. So wherever the key is knowledge, knowing more about the topic, knowing where it comes from, being able to analyze it from various different perspectives, and speed, being able to do that in split seconds instead of taking the time to do research. um, AI is going to be more valuable than people to people that are trying to get things done. And that means we're kind of moving out of the age of where employers are looking for the most knowledgeable people. Skills are going to still be
But
um,
yeah.
a differentiator for a while, um, but know-how is not pretty soon. And then the question becomes, what are the unique differentiators, that each of us has to bring to the party to be valuable in meeting goals and getting things done? So that's a question we'd like you to sit with. Um, we think one of the answers to that question is, kind of what we've been alluding to here. What humans can do that machines cannot do is we have feelings, we have emotions, we can connect with each other. When we were talking about this earlier, you were making the point that it's not just about meeting goals. Elaborate on that
No.
a little bit.
Well, I want you to think about somebody that's been really influential in your life. And was it a specific task that they accomplished for you in your life? Was it a specific knowledge set that they had, a specific thing that they said, specific advice they gave? Or was it the energy that they brought and the connection that they had with you? And I think that that is our opportunity to really impact each other and influence the world. Um, I think when we are embodied and we are present and we are bringing intentionally inspiring and positive energy to a situation, when we have a clear goal, I think that that's where humans really shine. And we can use AI as a tool to bring a broader knowledge base and to help accomplish specific tasks. But we have to be the leader and be the other human in the situation to really make that impact.
Yeah, and if we're even a little bit partly right about that, then these capacities, these bodily capacities of feeling emotions, connecting with other people, understanding what's your energy, how do you manage your energy, what's the energy that you bring today, how do other people experience that with you? um, these are important embodiment capacities if any of what we're talking about is even close to the mark. So we're excited about that as a place that teaches embodied capacities. And one of the key tools, we're going to share one more quick exercise with you. One of the key tools that we use is Tai Chi, which I learned from Amanda about 10 years ago and have been continuing to learn ever since. And we have found it to be kind of a uniquely useful tool for helping people get out of their heads and into their bodies. So I'll let you say more about it and then maybe take us through a move or two, Amanda.
Oh, I would love to. Um, if you're watching this video, please follow along with the movements because, I mean, we have a body. We get to learn things through experience in our body, and we need to be taking every opportunity to do that. So, yeah, let's do that together now. Um, Tai Chi is just, it's ancient wisdom that has been around for maybe 2,000 years. The history of Tai Chi is really rich, been carried on through different families and practices, and it's widely popular now in America, practiced all over. And it's a great way to manage your energy and to show up clear and fresh and strong at work. And the two moves I want to do today are their qigong exercises, which are, it's like a type of tai chi that helps regulate your energy. We're going to do support the sky and shoot the bow. I'm going to show both of them in a wide horse stance, but you get to listen to your body. And if your legs don't want that much of a workout, you can just bring it in a little bit. So choose your own stance, do what works for you. I'm going to switch. All right, hopefully you can see my legs. Let's get in a nice wide stance. Remember, you can adjust this as needed. And let's begin with support the sky. Fingertips close together. Breathe in, fill your heart. Breathe out, push down to the earth. Breathe in, up to the sky. Stretch your ribs. Breathe out, hands float down. Breathe in to the heart. Breathe out to the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Breathe out. last one. Make sure you're going nice and slow. All right, we're going to jump right into shoot the bow. Arms up in a double block. Breathe in and stretch the space between your shoulder blades. One elbow comes up, the other palm pushes away, slight turn in the neck. Breathe in, stretch the back. Breathe out, stretch the chest. Breathe in, elbows together. Breathe out, stretch your heart and chest. Good, you'll notice each exhale, my legs are sinking and relaxing into the earth. Exhale at the side. Inhale as your arms come to center. Exhale, alternating arms each time. Keep it slow, you're doing great. Tai Chi is not about being perfect, it's about the experience. One more on each side, you're doing great. All right, let's do a big, deep, harmonizing breath together. And some gentle swaying of our spine. Good, relax each vertebrae. Swaying tree. Thank you for practicing that with me. I hope.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah,
As
thanks for
always,
practicing along.
that felt great. But feeling great isn't the whole point. So in our classes at the Leader Lab, what we do is we connect, well, we introduce you to lots of embodiment distinctions, but then we help you connect the Tai Chi to real life experiences, real life distinctions that you make as a leader and a participant, as you lead your life and as you lead other people at work. And so it's important to understand that it's not just about relaxation, it's not about navel gazing, it's about how you're showing up on a regular basis. And in order to show up differently, the first step is creating this awareness of of your body and being in your body, and then being able to change things like the energy level in your body and the mood that you want to be in and that you hope will be contagious with the rest of your team, for example. So, do you want to talk about the structure of the curriculum?
Yeah. So the Leader Lab we have a really great 3 course curriculum, 3 5-week courses each. So 15 weeks total. The first 5 weeks is called What Do You Really Care About? And it's all about getting centered in your care and feeling what you care about and feeling your goals in your body and using that energy to accomplish things more
So
effectively.
that shows up in every conversation you have with your team and with, team members and your other people you care about in your life.
Yeah, it often ends up having good personal applications as well.
Absolutely.
Students say that a lot. Second course is the stories we live by. Some of the things that are the beliefs, things that might be holding our energy back, ways that we might be fighting against the goals and things that we're setting. So that's a really great course too. And then our final course is all about the conversations that we have and some of the real applicable tools that help you be a more effective leader.
Because every conversation is a full body sport, whether you know it or not. The way your body is showing up for conversations makes a difference. So it's better to know it and be aware of it and be able to use that as a tool.
Yeah. So the courses are signed up for each one at a time. Typically, they're They can be held virtually or in person. We have a virtual course coming up pretty soon.
Yep, October 21st is
Yeah.
the first date. We'll be sending out more information about that. You can also find it at our website, www.evleaderlab.com.
Yeah. And also, even if you're not immediately signing up for the course, we would love to be in conversation with you about any of these principles you've seen in the Leader Lab on our YouTube page. Reach out to us on our socials or just get on our email list, and we'd love to hear from you. Any of your leadership questions, embodiment questions. Yeah.
And watch your email and your social media because we'll be doing a few free sessions before the course starts in October. So hopefully you can join us for one of those.
Yeah. Great. All right. Be well and keep moving.